Ever Crisis, Stupid Hard Sephiroth, TLDR, let's go. Now, two things I want to mention at the start of this video real quick. This video is probably still going to be about 15 to 20 minutes long, despite the fact that it is a TLDR, and I am talking super fast. I'm probably going to be out of breath, I'm going to be mumbling my words, but thank you for clicking on it in the first place, because it's still long and has TLDR in the title, but I promise this is still very much a TLDR. The second thing is, I posted a community post earlier, 18 hours ago, saying, I know it's common practice to put out a video as soon as something happens, because the views, you want to be early, blah blah blah. But I wanted to make sure I had all the information, and I wanted to have a video that was actually of use to you, and by God did I do it. Because I have completed the hardest co-op here, I got my bragging rights icon, I got my 200 blue crystals. Don't worry about completing these, by the way, if you haven't yet. I haven't done the solo. I'm going to explain that a little later on, because the second thing I want to talk about is that, we'll get there later. It's fine. Just don't worry about beating these. Now, the information that I'm going to be giving you today is in the form of a video, but a video doesn't fully help you, right? That's not super good, like just seeing someone else do it, that's not going to help you too much. So I went and fucking wrote absolutely everything down. Because something to note about Sephiroth is that every single move he does is in the same order every single time. His moveset is identical, 100% of the time, guaranteed. So I've wrote down everything he's going to do in order and what you should be doing in between them for that guaranteed victory, assuming that your stats line up with kind of what is required here. This fight is a bit of a DPS check, so what that means is the longer the fight goes on, the stronger Sephiroth gets, so there does hit a point where the fight becomes impossible and you have to have won by then, and you'll experience this as I go through. But let's begin. All three of your characters is going to need 6.2k HP, roughly, in order to do this. Now, in my video, you can see that RR, I've completely forgot their name now, had 6.4k. Strifelol had 6.1k, and I had 6k. Now, this is not ideal. We cut it pretty close quite a few times. I recommend 6.2k. I would also like to point out that all of this, everything here, this is all going to be in the description of the video. So you can just go over, you can copy and paste it onto a notepad on your second monitor while you're playing the game, and this will assist you greatly, okay? The next thing, all three of your characters, all three people are going to need a Cura, including your healer. Now, you're going to require a party healer, like Aerith, with Curaga on the Fairy Tail. Or Tifa with the Lifeguard wraps. It's going to have the Curaga on the party heal, whatever. Or Matt with the party heal. There. You still require a Cura on that character as well, because a party heal move will do much less healing. The potency is about 60%, whereas the Cura, which is a single target, will have about 90% potency. That meaning 90% of your heal stat. So it's super important that you have a Cura as well, and we'll get to why a little later. All three people should have 2 Sigil Ruins. Between you, you'll have 2 each. Mix them up. So, 6 ruins in total, because there's 3 of you and you're going to have 2 each. 2 circles, 2 triangles, 2 X's. Mix them between you, because Sephiroth is going to have multiple different sigil breaks, where he's going to have 2 sigils you have to break. So, making sure all 3 of you have a good set of them is good. At the same time, he's going to have a break where he has all 3, and there is also a different type of break where he doesn't have any and you just have to use basic attacks. Bring Shiva. For some reason, he's weaker to ice than he is to fire. I cannot promise this, but in my testing, I brought Ifrit. He was fully maxed. I had level 5, all nodes. I did about 7,000 damage. My damage was low because I was the healer. I'm going to be talking this whole video in the aspect of a healer. I'm going to be talking as if you are also the healer, so you'll have to do a little bit of converting for yourself. But I had absolutely maxed out with reasonably low stats because I was the healer. I did about 7,000 with that. When I changed to Shiva using Diamond Dust, who was only level 2, and I basically had no nodes unlocked, I was doing 9,000. So if I had all of it done, I probably would have done about 15. Next, one of your DPSs should be wind if you can. If you can do both, even better. I'm actually going to do that. I'm actually going to write that. Both even better. Examples of this, Aerith's new banner with the new outfit, the new weapon, it's all wind-based, that's great. Lucia has a wind weapon, which is what we had here. This is Lucia right here, she was our wind damage. And I'm sure other people have wind damage as well, but I'm not going to go through and look for them all, that's your job. Okay, the fight begins. This is going to really take it out of me. Save all ATB on all 3 of your characters from the beginning of the fight. Do not use a drop of your ATB, because the first thing that Sephiroth is going to do is Heartless Archangel, which is going to reduce your entire party's HP to 1, as you can see right here. There's the Heartless Archangel. You can see the heal go off there for a second, but boom, massive damage. Everybody is reduced to 1. From this point on, your party healer is going to start party healing. You will only have enough time to do this 2 times. Your DPSs, both of them, are going to use 1 Cura on themselves each, and then one of those DPSs will use a Cura on the healer. This will fully top them up in preparation for the Shadowflare, which is going to do roughly 3.4k damage. So we'll let it go off, depending on your stats, your physical defense, or your magical defense in this particular aspect, but 3.4k, 3.1k, 3.5k. Okay, so you've survived the Shadowflare. Now, your healer is going to start party healing, and your DPSs are going to start doing what they do best. They're going to be DPSing. Sephi is going to do small, pointless attacks for a little while. First Octa Slash is now due. You can see who he targets above their name. Make sure that person is full HP. What I mean by this is when the Octa Slash starts counting, which is... I skipped it. Right here. Sephiroth's name is in orange above me. I am Tsunamods. When that is on there, that means that you are the target of the Octa Slash. So, if your party heal isn't cutting it, start using Cura on just the target of the Octa Slash to ensure that they survive, okay? Even if your DPSs have to take 1 turn away from doing damage to then help you with healing that person so they survive the first Octa Slash. After the Octa Slash has finished, the healer will use 1 Cura on the target of the Octa Slash to get them back up while your DPSs do damage. First Sigil break phase. He is always weak to wind. Always. This weakness will end the moment that you break him, okay? So what this means is, while the sigils are on screen right here, he has this little icon here, this means he's weak to wind. The moment you have dropped these sigils to 0, and you're in the interrupt phase where you have free turns, he will no longer be weak to wind. So during this phase, what you're going to want to be doing is your healer is going to be party healing. Your wind DPS is going to be doing wind damage. Your other DPS is going to be focusing on the break. If you have double wind, then, you know, do a bit of extra double wind, but don't do it for too long. Then, the healer will start assisting in breaking once the timer hits around 40%. So what I mean by this is this bar right here. This is the timer. This is how long you have to break him. When it hits about this point, maybe a bit before, when it hits the word flare right here, that's when the healer and your second wind DPS, if you have one, I guess, is going to convert to focus on breaking. Do not leave it too late. The Shadowflare will kill you, okay? After that, you will have done a ton of damage because he was weak to wind and your wind DPS was absolutely hammering on him. He is now broken. You're going to be party healing with your healer, and the DPSs are going to be doing their DPS stuff. Following this, Sephiroth is going to be doing his small pointless attacks. This should be totally fine. You have healed during the break, so you should all be full HP, so your healer should be saving their ATB while their DPSs do DPS things. Totally fine. Second Octa Slash. This one is going to be stronger than the first Octa Slash. Make sure the target, yet again, is at full HP. At the same time here, you'll want to be using your... I forget. Sorry. I have changed the notepad a little bit from the video because I've learned a few things that are different, that we did wrong, okay? So they've used we used our limits here, which was too early, because you'll see I didn't have my limit full. The reason for this is because I was the healer. Healing takes more ATB, meaning you're doing less moves. The less moves you're doing, the less your limit is charging, so your limit is delayed from the other two. Wait until after, get all 3, use them all at the same time, you'll get a boost of an extra 0.15 damage, okay? So, the second Octa Slash is coming, which is right here. I was the target again. The last time that he Octa Slashed me, I had 1200 HP. This time he's going to leave me on 900, which is a 300 increase in his damage. So, make sure that target is full HP, yet again, just like last time, using Cura on the target of the Octa Slash after it hits you, and then the DPS keep going. All 3 of you then use Shiva at this point. So the octa slash hits. I've got 960. This is ideally where you would use the Shiva. He is then going to come into his next sigil break phase. In this phase, he is not weak to any elements, so all three of you focus the crap out of breaking him. Get him broke as soon as you can. All three, just go for it, get him broke. Once he's broke, you're going to be healing and DPSing. So you should have your full heal done, you're all on full HP, no problem. At this point, the healer is going to save all of their ATB for a Cura, because Heartless Angel is the next move, which will bring one person to 1 HP. As you can see, after the break goes off, we also limit here, which I don't believe I wrote down. Okay. Use Shiva 3 times right here. Okay. Then the third octa slash is going to be coming. So we have the Heartless Angel first, right, like here. This is the one I was just talking about. It's going to leave a single character on 1 HP. Your healer is going to use Cura on just the person that took all of the damage here. So they're going to be getting back up totally fine. Next comes the third octa slash. This one is very likely to kill you unless you have about 6.4k HP. Which in our case was RR. If there is nobody killed, Cura the target and continue DPS as you have been thus far. If there is a kill, have one person revive, but not the healer. Have a DPS revive the person, and then have your healer heal them afterwards, unless the healer is the one that died. If the healer is the one that died, then have DPS revive and other DPS heal. Something to note here, though, you have to wait until the invincible debuff wears off. Now, I can't show it here because we were lucky enough to survive, but if I skip ahead a little bit, we get a kill right here. RR had died just prior to this frame. You see this invincible tag because they were just revived. This invincible tag also means you do not receive healing. You don't receive damage, but you don't receive healing. The healer, or whoever is healing the revived person, must wait until the invincibility tag wears off. Okay? Super important. Alright. Sephiroth's going to do a bunch of small pointless attacks. That's fine. You're going to be doing party heal. You're going to be doing DPS. He will now stun the party. Everybody should save their ATB. Do not worry about this stun. This stun will hurt you, it will bring you down, and you will all be stunned. You'll be tempted to go in and attack, you'll be tempted to party heal. Do not do it. Because so we are here. The next thing that he's going to do is Heartless Archangel, which brings the entire party down to 1 HP. Okay? And you would assume, after this point, that you're going to want to heal. No. Everybody stays on 1 HP, because the next thing he does is a super fast break opportunity. Right? Right here. He's going to use his Masamune in waiting. You can see how quickly it's going down. It takes 5 attacks to break him. This is why all 3 of you saved your ATB. Because you know how slow the ATB charges. If you didn't have this, you're not winning. You get octa-slashed. Game over. So you've saved your ATB. You've broke him. When he's broken, you're going to party heal and do DPS, as you're used to. Next thing coming up, the next octa slash. This is a guaranteed kill. This one is going to be doing something I should note there. Limits were used right here. Limits were used because we knew that the target was going to die. Use your limit before you die. Otherwise, you just lose it. You lose all your limit and it's gone. If somebody else has their limit ready, use it as well to get that extra bonus on the attack damage. So, octa slash, you can see it's aiming at RR right here. And that is a kill for 7.9k. It's a guaranteed kill. You are not surviving this. Now, if somebody has died already up to this point and you've revived them, pray to the RNG gods that this is not the same character that got targeted. Because the mechanics in this game mean that only each character can only be revived a single time. And each character can only revive somebody a single time. So if the same character goes down twice, they're out of the fight, it's GG, better luck next time. So this is a little bit where your RNG is going to come into play here. You want to absolutely make sure but you don't even need to heal that person. Don't worry about healing that person because they're going to die. If you have limits, use them before you die, as I said. As per usual, one person revives, the other person cures after invincible debuff wears off. Now, after this, he is going to party stun you again, which is right here. There's the party stun. Again, you're going to be saving your ATB and do not heal, because the next thing, again, is the super fast 5-move Sigil break. Right here. So, we're leaving our HP as it is. We're just getting him broke. Fantastic. But still, even during this break, do not heal. The next move makes it pointless. All 3 of you should DPS during this break, because the next move is Heartless Archangel, which brings your entire party down to 1 HP. So healing prior to this would have been a total waste of time. As you can see, interrupted, no physical attacks, no little pointless attacks. Heartless Archangel. I healed here because heat of the moment. I didn't know what we were doing properly. I've refined it since winning. Heartless Archangel is going to bring everybody back down to 1 again. From this point, it's resetting. You're now at the beginning of the fight. Party heal 2 times. DPS uses Cura on themselves 1 time each, and then 1 on the healer for the next Shadowflare. See, we're back at the beginning. The Shadowflare, in our scenario, which we fucked up pretty hard, we used our limits because we were panicking. Probably a good idea to put this right here. Okay, Shadowflare. In our scenario, we used them because we weren't healed enough. We knew someone was going to die. Which they actually... Oh no, Strifelol died. There's the invincibility symbol. We brought him back. Oh god. Okay, here comes a party stun. You're going to be party healing after the stun goes off, which is right here. From this point, he's going to Heartless Angel again, which will bring 1 person back down to 1 HP again, which is right here. At this point, you can tell we are struggling. We've hit that DPS check. But then, Shiva comes out. We win the fight. So I don't know what happens after this, okay? I'm assuming it's just back up. It just resets. We've gone through the full cycle of his moveset. That is how you win. By God, am I tired. That was a lot of talking, and very quickly. Now, the other 2 things that I want to discuss. If that was all you cared about, then I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like. I feel like I deserve it after all this fucking crap. But I do have 2 more things that I want to talk about regarding this event. Now, the golden tickets, okay? I have been grinding this level, Sephiroth 9, for these golden tickets. It is the hardest one that I can do. Don't worry if you're grinding Sephiroth 8. Totally fine, okay? This one's far easier, and it gives gold tickets too. However, the drop rate is atrocious. Most of the time when I'm farming this, I get either no gold tickets, 21 gold tickets, or 51 gold tickets. But I believe you can get 71 if you're super, super lucky. And that is with triple stamina. On all of them. They are all triple stamina outcomes. So they are very hard to farm, and they are not worth the stamina that you're spending. So here's how we're going to get around this. In the missions, I mean, you'll get this eventually anyway. Just upgrade 3 materials, okay? It's not leveling them up. It's that when they get to level 5 and you upgrade their rarity or their move, that's that. So do this at some point. In your daily, you will notice obtain 200 gold victory draw tickets. So, this is what you're going to do. Grind Sephiroth until you have earned 200 gold tickets. Come and collect these 200 tickets and then stop. Do not do any more Sephiroth for that day. Because what you're going to be doing is in the victory draw, gold tickets right here. If you go to the prize details, I've already done level 1 and 2, so I can't show you them, but we are not concerned about the limited prizes whatsoever. I know in my last video, I said that you should get all the limited prizes if you can. That's fine. They're easier to farm. This is a different scenario. You're wasting stamina. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be going in and doing single pulls repeatedly. Just 1, 1, 1. It's slower. It's time consuming. It sucks. But trust me, it's going to help you a lot because all you care about is the jackpot prizes. You're going to get Barrett's weapon, 5-star, maxed, like all white stars for free, okay? Even if you don't main Barrett, this is an incredible weapon and you should be focusing on getting it. Look at these stats. If you equip this as a sub-weapon, you get 50% of these stats, as well as 50% of these stats. We don't need to worry about the move. We don't need to worry about this stuff. If you're maining Barrett, then fucking sweet. enjoy your Barret weapon, okay? But even if you're not, focus this weapon. It is free. It is amazing. Now, outside of that, we're getting Barret memories. Okay, that's cool. We can get those whenever we want. It's a little annoying, but we can. You hit level 4, you hit level 5. Barret-specific weapon parts. 5 of them. Now, 5's not much, but if you times it by 6, you're looking at 30. 30 is quite a lot. Now, if you don't know what Barret-specific weapon parts are, it's for overboosting your weapons. Any weapon that belongs to this character. So these can overboost any Barret weapon. Whether that be today, whether it be next week, if the new banner comes out with Barret stuff on, or whether it be a year from now when a new Barret banner comes out and he has the most broken weapon in the whole game and you've saved them the whole time, if you get 200 of these, you get a free overboost. So right here, you're getting 30 of them. At level 6, you're getting another 14 times 5, which I'm not doing the maths on right now because I am tired and I feel like I would embarrass myself. So that is going to be somewhere around 100 free Barret-specific weapon parts. That is 50% of an overboost. That is... It's incredible. You're going to be absolutely farming these, alright? And then, again, do not worry about any of these. That is the strat. Okay. The last thing. This is technically the least important thing. But the last thing, I am exhausted. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to go to the Notices tab right here, and I am going to go to the Critical Threat Sephiroth. Now, every gacha game ever has had a big problem where there is content for the whales that gives good rewards for the whales, and the free-to-play players are sad that they weren't able to get this good content because it was just designed for the whales, right? This game does not do this. I feel like the developers of this game watch me and my team. Actually, I know they watch me and my team because if the Sunamods, that's my other profile. We're modders for Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, King of Fighters, and a bunch of other stuff. And Square Enix is aware of us. They watch us. We already know they watch us, but I think they watch us even more because we were just saying over the last week that having that divide between free-to-play players and whales is horrible. The free-to-play players hate the whales because they spent money. The whales feel really bad, then they start to dislike the free-to-play players because the free-to-play players treat the whales like shit, whatever. And it's none of their fault, it's the game's fault, okay? Because they gave them content that gives them good rewards. The content here that only the whales can complete is 200 blue crystals and an icon for bragging rights. No one's ever going to see the icon because it's on your profile and who gives a shit. And 200 blue crystals is not going to kill you, okay? But this right here, what this says is if 9 whales complete the stupid hard, everybody in the game, every player in the world gets 300 blue crystals. If between 10 and 49 does it, we get 500. If 50 to 99, 700. If more than 100 players get it, we get 1,000. So, if you are a whale and you are completing this, please help other people because we want those 1,000 crystals and we will love you for it forever, okay? And free-to-play players, love the whales, all right? The whales are going to be the reason you get these free 1,000 crystals, okay? So, just, it's good. This game is doing it the right way. They're not offering great content to the whales. They're offering tough content to the whales, which is what they enjoy the most. And then by the whales doing that tough content, we all benefit. It is great. But that is it for this TLDR video. Hopefully I did well. Please, for the love of God, leave a like because I feel like I deserve it. Subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next TLDR video. God damn.